operation in Memphis, Tennessee. They're midnight-hearted and trying to get in touch with me. Could not leave a number, but I'm...
Mary Jo, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I know what heaven's like now, where every elected official is a Republican. This is where I want to come back. I want to recognize our great state chairman, our national committee man, two of my bosses that are here tonight. I appreciate all the work that you do, those of you that are on the stage and those of you that are in the audience. Mary Jo forgot to tell you that I'm still a precinct captain in Inez, Kentucky, and that's my #1 job, and that's what I was home doing this weekend. I know that you've had some terrible flooding in this area recently. I've gone through flooding before, and I appreciate all of you that helped others during that period of time, and I hope that you've recovered. I hope that we're ready to talk about the issues of the day. My staff has prepared a great speech for me tonight, but I think it would be better if I talked to you from my heart tonight. As someone who's been involved in Republican politics since I was 9 years old, someone who understands what it takes to have a successful campaign. And we're going to have a successful campaign this fall. You know, 2 years ago when I took this job, there weren't a lot of people in line to be national chairman. It was pretty dispiriting at the time. We'd lost a lot of seats. We'd strayed from the mission of the Republican Party. Things looked really grim. But that's no longer the case. And it's not the case because every successful campaign has 4 elements: the right candidates, enough money, the issue set, and organization. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. And I want to begin with the candidates. There is such a stark contrast between our candidates and the Democrat candidates. Let's look at the resumes and the records. Look at John McCain's resume. John McCain, shot down in his 23rd mission, held captive for 5.5 years, had the opportunity to go home early, but he did the honorable thing. He stayed. He stayed. John McCain came back and became involved in this country, ran for Congress, was elected, ran for the Senate, has been involved in all of the major foreign policy decisions in the last 20 years. John McCain, a man of character, a man of courage, a man who you don't always agree with. I sued him one time over campaign finance reform. Yes, that's right. I did. But you know what? He won, and we're following that law today. John McCain stands up not only to his own party, but he stands up to the Democrats day in and day out. He's a solid conservative. We wouldn't have 2 United States Supreme Court justices today had it not been for John McCain getting together the votes, the bipartisan votes, to make that happen. John McCain, a man of character and courage. Let's look at Barack Obama, someone that you know very well. I'm sure that you've heard a lot of his soaring rhetoric over the years. Where did he come from? How did he get where he is? We're running some commercials right now that try to explain some of the associations. That his economic advisor is the mayor's brother in Chicago. He was born out of the Chicago political machine. That his money man was Tony Resco, the man who gave him his house, gave him a sweetheart deal. Would someone do that for you, help you get a house that way and then sell the yard back to you? I don't think so. His political mentor, Mr. Jones, who got him his first appointment. And your governor that he supported, your governor in your state, who is not a stranger to investigations at the state level or at the national level. The associations that Barack Obama's had over the years. William Ayers, the unrepentant bomber, who said he regretted not doing more. These are the people that shaped the political future of Barack Obama. They helped get him elected. And what did he do when he went to Springfield? He voted present 130 times. You can't do that as President of the United States, but we're seeing that in him right now. What happened when Russia invaded Georgia? Where was Barack Obama? He was waiting to see where the wind was blowing. What happened when there was a crisis in the financial markets last week? We still don't know where he stands. He said he was going to tell us in Green Bay today, but he didn't. Barack Obama, who's more interested in the polls than he is in providing leadership. Barack Obama does not have the judgment to be the President of the United States of America. Then there's his running mate, the very first decision that allows us to see what it's going to be like if he were elected president. Who does he choose? He chooses a man who's in love with the sound of his own voice and other people's words. Joe Biden. Joe Biden, who's had a problem with plagiarism since he was in college and still does. Joe Biden, who believes that it's patriotic for you to pay more money in taxes to this country. Joe Biden. Joe Biden, who's been in Congress for 30 years and has one domestic piece of legislation to his credit, and that was 15 years ago. Joe Biden. Where's the record? Joe Biden loves to talk. He reminds me a lot of that great statesman, Hubert Horatio Humphrey. I think he's going to come to the same end as HHH did. And then look at the other side with Governor Sarah Palin. Actually, that's a debate we're having in our house right now. We're having a granddaughter, and we're talking about names, and Sarah's leading right now, about 2-1. But I'm afraid my daughter-in-law has the final say, and I'm not sure yet, but we're working on that. I was so proud. I was so proud to be at that convention. You know, my grandmother and grandfather ran a small business, and Mary Jo is my grandmother who ran that business. My mom and dad had a general store together for about 40 years. My wife and I are in the banking business today. I was so proud of the recognition of Sarah Palin as a leader of women, as a leader of a state, and as a leader of this country. They talk about experience. She has more executive experience than all of the candidates put together. She heads a corporation that has 24,000 employees, the state of Alaska. She is in charge of the National Guard there. You notice that her son was also involved and recently was deployed. She walks the walk. She's the real deal. I had the opportunity to meet with her twice during the convention, to meet with her in her hotel suite where we were getting her on the ballot, to see her family up close and personal. They're people that you would want to know. They're people that you know in your community. I am so proud that Sarah Palin is our candidate for Vice President of the United States. So the first element are the candidates and their biographies and their experience and their judgment. The second element to any successful campaign is enough money. Now, some would tell you there's never enough money in politics, but let me tell you where we stand right now. The Republican National Committee and the McCain campaign together will have enough money to get our message out this fall. We're going to be outspent because when you add up what Obama takes in and the Democrat National Committee, but more importantly the 527s and the unions, they're going to outspend us. But you know what? We're going to have almost $300 million in these last 60 days to get our message out. And you're going to hear our message all over this country. The RNC is having a record month. I can't announce this because they're reporters. We're going to announce a record month at the RNC. We have over 1,300,000 donors who give us an average of $77 apiece to make it possible for us to support our presidential candidate and our congressional candidates. That's the broadest based political party in the world. We're going to have enough money, and we appreciate your help. The third critical element to any winning campaign is the issue set. And I want to talk a minute about energy